What's up, everybody? It's Marcus D'Angelo, and we are back for another episode of the Hacksaw Hour. And of course, I couldn't do it without the man himself, WWE Hall of Famer, my buddy, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Jim, good to see you, brother.
Well, it's good. Thanks, Marcus. Good to see you, my friend, man. It's been a long time since we've talked.
It has, absolutely. And look, I don't want to get any heat with you right out of the gate. Do we need to hit a hoe?
I was waiting for you, brother. I was setting you up, kid. I was setting up you on the tee. Yeah, I guess you have been going to the WWE OVW shows.
Yeah,
Back in the old days, you'd be like, oh, well. I'm starting up on it, man. I was setting you up. Well, let's do it, baby.
All right. Oh! It's been a while since I did a hoe, Jim. Good to see you.
Brother, you're at home. Be careful. You get heat.
That's all right. The wife isn't home, or I couldn't say any of that.
Yeah.
Speaking
of... We were all having dinner the other night, and one of my friends, he asked Deborah, he goes, aren't you worried about Jim being around all these young, beautiful divas?
How could she not be?
Deborah's like, no. I'm like, thanks, honey. You can't be a little worried.
Just a little bit. Just pretend to be.
They hold the door and call me sir, you know.
Well, look, you are still making the towns just like the old days with the WWF. Jim, since last we spoke, you have done a lot of traveling.
Oh, we did a whole bunch of traveling, brother, but it's been a great time. This was our 6th year doing the Celebrities for a Cause out in Cody, Wyoming. And Deborah and I, we always fly out. One time we flew into Jackson Hole. One time we flew into Billings. Everywhere we fly in a different town and get a rent-a-car and drive around. So, okay, looking at the map and sitting at home on the recliner going, geez, I think we can do this, honey. So we get up at 4 a.m. here in Lugoff, South Carolina, but we fly out of Columbia, which is only about 40 minutes away instead of Charlotte. Fly to Dallas to Billings, Montana. Then we get into Billings and we drive 5 hours to I can't think of the name of the town, but right there by Mount Rushmore. So we drove into Mount Rushmore. But it was great out there. The West is so different. And I remember the first time I went out there for this Celebrities for a Cause. And they were taking me, they fly into Billings, you drive down to Cody. And I'm in the car, we're driving down, and all of a sudden I'm like, hey, there's an antelope! Right there, there's an antelope right there. There's another one. There's a couple of antelope. And the guy's like, yes, Mr. Duggan, sit down, Wait, there's some more over here. There's antelope everywhere. I never seen antelope before in my life, The pronghorn antelope with the white butts, man. I grew up a hunter, and I just had never. And even though I've been out to West Texas, Lubbock, Amarillo, I'd never seen that. And there was antelope everywhere, man. After a while, like antelope. Poor kid driving me around and like, what is it, Mr. Duggan? What is it? It's an antelope. But anyway, so now we're kind of used to the antelopes, But we flew in. Got a big, nice rented van. We got a big Toyota Sienna van.
All right.
Beautiful van, man. I loved it. And so we're driving around. We went to Mount Rushmore and went there at night. And the totally pitch black. And all of a sudden at 9 o'clock or whatever, boom, all the lights come on. They're the presidents. And they play the national anthem. And there's, it's not packed, but there's a lot of people there. And they finished the national anthem. And I got to tell you, Marcus, thank God my daughters weren't with me. They would have died, but Deborah got along with it. I'm like, they finished the national anthem. USA! USA! Boom, and it picked up, man.
No way. You got to
the place at Mount Rushmore were chanting. They don't know who I was. We're all in the dark. It's just a guy chanting USA, and the folks got with it, man.
They only do.
It was great, yeah. And so then the next morning we got up, and Deborah had never been to Devil's Tower. When last time we were on the way to Devil's Tower is when we had that car wreck in Sturgis. Where we got hit, and it was a bad car wreck. Deborah had 2 surgeries. I was banged up. So anyway, we're going through Sturgis now. It's like Wednesday, Sturgis Bike Week starts on Friday.
Oh man.
And so there's bikers everywhere. It's packed. And anyway, so we have to get off, go through. You know, I did a little video. I think you posted for me.
Yep.
Went through Sturgis, but we got to the intersection. Well, it wasn't an intersection back then, but they made it a 4-way stop where our accident was.
Maybe because of that.
The girl just ran her stop sign, hit us broadside back, 5 years ago, 5 years ago.
Wow.
And, so anyway, I was on the way to Devil's Tower. So now we still make it. We're going up to Devil's Tower, and you can see it from a distance. It's great. You get up there, and then you get on this little 2-lane road, you know, and you're going to the actual base of Devil's Tower. And there's a little sign all of a sudden off to the side that says 75 minutes from this point. What the hell, you know? And then 45 minutes from this point. Now, when I look up, there's traffic. I'm like, 45 minutes from this point. And you get closer to Devil's Tower, you're like this, you can't see it. I'm like, you know, you're from a distance, you get to see it. So I'm doing a 8-point turn on this little 2-lane highway with everybody going, "Yeah, damn Yankee, yo. Excuse me, sorry. Clark Griswold's the name."
That tower is crazy looking too. I think that was in like one of the sci-fi movies back.
Close Encounters of the. Yeah, we watched that before we went out. Got to get Deborah in the mood for it, man.
Oh, cool.
Before I went out years ago when WCW ran Sturgis, you know. But that's not the best part of the trip. I got to tell you, Marcus.
Right.
And plus, everywhere you go, you see these big, shaggy cows. And they don't pet the shaggy cows. All these bison, buffalo are roaming around everywhere you look. So anyway, we get to Cody. Guess who calls us up?
Jake the Snake.
Oh, Theodore DiBiase.
Oh, the $1 Million Man.
$1 Million Man calls me. Him and Mel are in town. And then right after I talk to him, Jake calls. You weren't far off. Jake and Cheryl are in town. And so the first day, we got that big minivan. We grabbed Ted and Mel, and we drove probably one of the most scenic highways we've ever been on. It's called the Chief Joseph Scenic Byway. And it is more wows per mile than every time you go around and turn, you're like, wow. And we had Ted and Mel with us, and then we did some great sightseeing. And that night we all got together for dinner. You know, the 6 of us and Sonny Ono and Ernest the Cat Miller came by.
What a crew.
So we had an all-nice dinner. But somebody showed up with a wrestling card where I wrestled DiBiase in Billings back in like 1980. I said, well, we're getting along a lot better on this trip, Ted. But then the next day we did some more sightseeing with Ted and Mel, and they had a softball game. And they're like, well, you want to coach first base? I'm like, no, I want to coach from the dugout.
I want to be in the shade.
Yeah, go, team, go. And it's funny, you know, Marcus, because, you know, it's me, Jake, and Ted. And all these younger sports stars, when they were kids, they watched wrestling. And all, you know, people that are asking them for their autograph, they're like, look, it's Jake the Snake over there.
They wanted your autograph.
Oh, these guys, yeah. So it was a fun trip. It was for Back to Blue. We had a nice big banquet. We didn't win anything. One year, Deborah won 4 guns. We haven't won anything since. We kind of popped the wad there in that first year. We won 4 guns, but it was a really nice trip, really was. And then, we had Ted. Good to be all together. The 6 of us all together. Because the 6 of not Cheryl, but 5 of us go back to Mid-South. Mel and Ted have been together longer than Deborah and I. And they knew each other back in Mid-South. But back then it was like,
times have changed.
Little catty back then, you know. All the wives, you know, how you doing?
Man, how cool to see those pictures online and everything of you guys. I know that the fans really love to get to see that. And by the way, I think that while you were out there, in Sturgis, I wanna say it was, like, a day before or the day after the anniversary of the first time that WCW ran in Sturgis 30 years prior in 1996.
Yeah.
Man, pretty crazy you'd be out there at that.
Oh, that's when I guess when I was with Bill DeMont. Remember Hugh Morris,
Yes.
WCW, and we all. If you had a motorcycle and you brought it to Atlanta, WCW would put them all on a 18-wheeler and take them out, just somewhere outside of Sturgis. And WCW came in like a gang, Eric Bischoff, and so everybody I gotta get a motorcycle. Everybody bought a motorcycle. I'm like, no. I'm not buying a motorcycle at all. Anyway, so DeMont's driving me. We got this great big rented Lincoln. We're going down the road. It's like Cheech and Chong in the car, nothing but smoke. We're going by the car. We come up to the pack of the WCW. We pass the guys. They're all like,
Have fun out there, fellas.
And nobody had, they're all street bikes, so they don't have the windshields and all that the long road guys have. But
Oh, man.
that was fun to actually wrestle in Sturgis.
Yeah, what was it like being out there in front of that? It's again, for those who don't know, this is not a wrestling crowd. It was a free show that WCW put on. It was completely free admission, and it's bikers, and it's just a walk-up crowd. Probably very few actual wrestling fans there.
Yeah, we got a lot of that. I think I can take him. He don't look that tough.
Oh gosh, all that stuff.
I got a lot of biker ego in that place, so you didn't want to go out because you're going to end up in some action.
Yeah.
And you might be just a little outnumbered.
Yeah, maybe not the setting to be getting into a fist fight.
People looking for trouble, but everybody went the better after Wheel of Fortune. No, after some guys went. A lot of guys went out and party, but yeah, I didn't. But,
rumor has it that the changing situation, as far as changing your clothes out there, it was like shipping containers and tents and stuff like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, bro. I'm dressed in the back of a truck.
There's nothing new to Hacksaw.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the show. I mean, and where were we? Oh, we did a WWE show, and we were somewhere, and they put us in the pro hockey team's dressing rooms. And oak benches and oak lockers and padded seats and gorgeous flat screen TVs. And the next night, I did the Iowa State Fair. We dressed near by a bank of outdoor potties. You started out to go from the penthouse to the shit house.
You both ends of the
man. Yeah, that's part of wrestling. But over in Japan, we that little company. Ted was in it. Mike Rotundo, Barry Windham, Steve Williams. They was like a small indie Japanese company, and they would just pull up with their truck, and we get dressed in the back of their truck.
It's interesting the stuff you get to experience in the wrestling world. I'm starting to
from one extreme to the other. And I just saw, speaking of Rotundo, this past weekend, we had a nice show. We were up in Lynbrook, New York.
Yes.
We flew up, I think we flew up Friday night, and we got friends up there that pick us up, drive us around, take care of us. Went to the hotel, got up the next morning, did the show. Rotundo was there. I got to see him a little bit. Demolition. Bill and Barry were there. It was good to see them. They're busy as hell now, finally, man. Shit. They're running them this way, that way, they're new put them in the Hall of Fame. They're flying around, which is great, man. It was good to see them. But then we were able to fly home that night, Saturday night. So we flew up Friday night, flew home Saturday night. We're gone like 30 hours. It was I don't mind those shows. I told Deborah, forget those West Coast shows. We ain't doing those anymore.
Man, it's been a whirlwind for you. And by the way, it's not over yet. Jim, this weekend, you are off again. This time you're going to be down there in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, that's a driver. What's the name of the town? Starts with a
It's Kinston.
Kinston. Yeah, Kinston, North Carolina. About 4 hours, maybe 4.5 from home. So it's a day off for a wrestler. You're up in the East Coast. So I got some friends that are up visiting, and they're like, I'm like, well, the show is 60 miles away tonight. You want to come by? And they're like,
60 miles.
60 miles? And that's 60 miles. That's 120 miles.
That's nothing to a wrestler.
Like, holy smoke, that's going to pick up dinner. Are you kidding? What the hell? Yeah. So that's the driver. We get to drive up, do the show. We'll come home. We'll probably spend the night up there and drive home. No need to bust butts nowadays. And Deborah's got the chicken doors. We got 19 chickens now. We got chickens everywhere. You can't walk out of the house without stepping on a chicken.
That means a lot of eggs, which is great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she takes him to the hairdressers and to get into all of her friends and stuff. But she's and our chicken coop.
Oh no!
Oh, I built the original coop. I can't drive a nail straight, but I stapled up some chicken wire. Meantime, now our buddy John, who's quite a carpenter, he's come. Now it's got sliding windows, a floor in it, a place with dirt, heater, fan, heated water. And I jokingly said, well, next will be an air conditioner in here. And John's like, yeah, we could put an air conditioner. I go, John, no, we're not putting an air conditioner.
For the chickens?
For the damn chickens. Are you kidding? Yeah. So I figured I broke it down. Each egg cost me about $3.
Oof, man.
No, they're a lot of fun in the duck. So I enjoy I was on my tractor. We had a big windstorm, knocked down a lot of limbs. So I've been pulling the limbs around with my tractor. I really enjoy that stuff.
You got a lot to do at home, but yeah, you're on the road. And by the way, folks, this weekend it is at the Blue House Event Center. Not only is Hacksaw going to be there, Sergeant Slaughter is going to be there, Vicky Guerrero is going to be there.
Vicky, I don't pick me a little bit, of course, but nothing like Sarge. Sarge and I go way, way back to the big Jim Duggan days, and yeah, that was you find me on YouTube wrestling Sergeant Slaughter, And then the first main thing I try to do is get out of the Cobra clutch.
Yes.
Put the chair out. But Sarge tells the story because I'm driving around an old Grand Prix I bought. It had 3 matching tires and 1 oddball tire on it, I'm a big Jim Duggan. I'm not making no money, but I'm driving Sarge around. I'm driving Stan Hansen around. And 2 good guys, right? So anyway, Sarge, he ribbed the hell out of me, We're playing all these little kind of games, and he's beating me. And finally, I'm driving down the road, and I'm like, Sarge, it's bowling. I can beat you bowling. And so we went in there, and Sarge put it in his book. We went in there, and the first 2 games, I was beating his ass, and of course, we buttoned up the money a little bit. And I'm like, I'm making my money back, finally. That last game, he goes up to the line, the old timer. I'm fresh out of football, big Jim Duggan. Sarge goes, oh, I am right-handed.
Oh no! Oh no!
Took you put it in the book, man. So we rib about it to this day. It's 40 plus years later. We rib about it. Well, he does.
Well, yes, you still got a comeback coming.
It doesn't bother me.
He still got a receipt coming.
His agent Paul's a good guy. I know Paul. Paul's a good guy. So it'll be good to see Sarge. And Vicky and I, we did a lot of stuff on the Jericho cruise together a couple of years ago.
Man, Vicky is great. And by the way, folks, Hacksaw's new action figure just came out. It's Hitting Target. It's the Ultimate Edition. Hacksaw, Jim Duggan. That's a great opportunity to go and get it signed. There it is. Look at that.
Right on cue, brother. Yes. And I was watching a review on it, and guys that actually pay attention to action figures say you get a lot for your buck because you get the 3 different heads, you get the 2x4, you got the shirt, the American flag. It comes with a lot of great stuff, man. I mean, just for the action figure. It's been a long time. The crown, of course, Harley Race's crown, which was like a bushel basket.
Gotta be.
Comes with a lot of great stuff. It's got the little bio on the back. It's, nice picture and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I got to say, it's been a long time since anybody's Mattel has done a action figure of me, so it was great to see that come out.
Man, it's such a
Right around the same time, Mark, as that came out.
we're gonna zoom again.
There we go. The pop. Hacksaw Jim Duggan pop. They're very collectible. A lot of folks love these things.
Yep.
I signed a lot of them this weekend up there in New York. Both a lot of the action figures and the pop. Has got enough room for Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and I get the Hall of Fame and a hole on there. But you know what? That it's not like these folks send us a bunch of these. Deborah has to go out and buy them and order them from online and stuff. You'd think the company would send me a case of them,
You
But
don't think you could call the office and say, "Hey, send me a box of this"?
yeah, they got me on hold.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll get back to you.
We'll get back to the Hacksaw. Yeah, but hopefully, yeah, I think more I pursue it, I'm sure they'll send me some. And but we do have just a limited number of those at the hacksawjimdugganshop.com. And of course at the hacksawjimdugganshop.com.
Oh,
If
don't
you're
miss
a
that.
Hacksaw fan, you gotta have a 2x4, tough guy. Oh,
Oh!
let's go, brother.
The QR code for Hacksaw Jim Duggan Shop is right above Jim's head there. Visit hacksawjimdugganshop.com. Get some signed merchandise. What a cool opportunity if you can't get out there and see Jim in person. Jim, today our topic is SummerSlam 1992. I have one more thing, though, before we get into that subject, because since the last time we spoke, Jim, we lost somebody in professional wrestling. Unfortunately, Dory Funk Jr. has passed away since the last time we spoke. Jim, I just wanted to give you a second. Anything you have to say about the late great Dory Funk Jr.?
Well, just the whole Funk family in general, but Dory Bay's been the torchbearer of the Funk family. I never worked for those guys out there. I never had a whole lot of interaction. I had more interaction with Dory in the past 10 years than I have ever before. Him and his wife and Deborah and his wife are good friends. Deborah called when he passed to talk to his wife. But yeah, he was a legend. And that's, I mean, what more can be said in a time where it was hard to be a legend?
Man, big loss to the wrestling world, and I do want to point out that it's kind of cool that his last time on WWE TV was with you and Ted. You guys were all at Saturday Night's Main Event together, so it's nice that you got to share that moment with him, his final time on the big stage.
Oh,
And
that's very cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, we had a great time back there in the green room. They had a nice green room set up for us with food and drink and everything. And like I said, we all had our wives with us, and we sat around and talked about the old days, man. The prior sports entertainment. The old timers. I'll tell you, back in the day, where's my cane? Oh, little bastards! I'll tell you.
Man, what a legend.
Get a razor blade and get some juice.
Those kids, they don't even party anymore, these kids. Playing their video games. Nobody drinks.
Yeah. It's different, which is good. Thank goodness it's progressed. Nobody's dying, man. Yeah. I mean, the young guys, back there for a while, you're afraid to answer the phone.
Yep.
Yeah. So much killed more of the guys than anything, man.
And what a shame, because I think that the Somas started as a direct result of them banning or making marijuana a banned substance. So the guys were like, well, I can't come down with weed like I usually would, so let me try some of these muscle relaxers. And next thing you know, these guys are dropping dead.
They'd be bing, bing, binged up and say, I need to get a few hours sleep. Bing, bing, bing down.
Yep. Man, what a shame. And what a shame to have lost Dory Funk Jr. God bless him.
God bless you, Dory. We miss you.
With that, let's go ahead and jump into these notes. Again, it is SummerSlam 1992, one of the biggest events of all time. Next year is going to mark the 35th anniversary, but I was like, you know what? I can't resist it. We're talking about it now. And we're going to start here at the early part of June. In the June 1st edition of The Observer, it's announced that SummerSlam has been moved from the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland to Wembley Stadium. And Meltzer would point out that if the show were to sell out, it would be 85,000 fans and the second largest documented live crowd of all time for a wrestling event. Jim, when you heard that SummerSlam was set to be held in England, what did you think of the big change and possibilities?
Well, I was really disappointed. I was looking forward to going to the Cap Center.
Yeah, like 14,000 fans stopped in there.
Now the guys go over to England quite a bit. Go everywhere. Go over to England. They go everywhere. But back then, man, going to England, that was a huge deal, man. And to take the company to an outdoor show, it's outdoors. Wembley Stadium. If they're sweating the weather in England, which is notoriously bad weather right over there in England. But yeah, I was like everybody else. I was extremely excited to be on the card, be part of the show, to be on the trip. Because back then, it was still the Beatles coming to London. It was, maybe not quite, but when you landed at the airport, there was police escorts. There was hundreds of people outside the airport holding signs up, WWF, yeah, Hogan, whatever. And then outside the airport, they had hotel, just people outside just going crazy. Everywhere we went, motorcycle escorts. And then just going to Wembley Stadium. I mean, since you're a kid, Wembley Stadium, holy smokes. Holy smokes. And that was extremely exciting. Yeah. You get a little jaded in this business. You see quite a bit. It takes quite a bit to go, holy smokes. But that was a holy smokes moment, brother. That was a good one, man. And then to actually come out through the crowd and come out to the reaction of the people.
It's got to be surreal to be in that setting with.
Nobody expected that crowd neither. There was, like you said, how many? 80,000 plus, right?
The expected, if it sold out, it was going to be 85,000. I think that it wound up making it to about 79,000, which is nothing to sneeze at, brother. 79,000 fans. It's quite a lot.
They were packed in there pretty good. They really were. And they were as vocal as could be. And it's hard outside. The crowd is never as loud outside as it is inside, obviously. The sound is inside, captivated. But out there it just blows, right? But it was a lot. And we had them rolling, man. It was me and the Bushwhackers, Butch and Luke, against the Nasty Boys, Knobs and Sags, and the Mountie.
That's right. And it's such a cool presentation. You guys were a dark match, and we'll get into that topic. But I did want to mention as well, on day one when tickets would go on sale for this, it was over 70,000 people bought tickets on the first day the tickets went on sale. Yeah. So I mean, it really speaks to the popularity of the WWF in Europe. Jim, do you think that's just a result of them not getting to see you guys as often as they wanted to, or is it just the passion of the European fan?
I think it was new. It was new to them. They'd never seen nothing like that. They had wrestling over there with Big Daddy, and it was like an indie show over here. We might have some music. WWF comes to town. The fireworks, the music, the pageantry, the costumes, the wrestlers. I mean, it's the whole package. I mean, and it's new, and it's that people see how popular it is in America, and they were just excited to have it everywhere in the world, man. I wrestled all over the world. It's crazy the appeal of professional wrestling around the world. I got to tell my NFL joke, especially here at football season. World champions. Where in the world do you boys go, man? Nobody knows Tom Brady down in Christchurch, New Zealand, but they'll go, oh.
Yep, they know Hacksaw.
It's amazing. Now they'll get the action figures all over the world.
That's right. By Mattel, available exclusively at Target. I didn't mention my daughter Piper, who of course we've mentioned here before. She loves Jim, and she saw that action figure there at Target, and she about lost her mind.
Yeah, I tell you, it's amazing. People, my college buddy had seen it, and he took a picture of it and sent it to me, and I sent him back. Yeah, they got the abs right.
Finally, they nailed the physique. Jim, there's a big debut at this time, and it comes in the form of Scott Hall, who's coming in as Razor Ramon.
Well,
And I mean,
before we leave
oh yeah,
hard match, though, Marcus, I
sure,
got to go back. You know, like you said, we're a dark match, right? We're
yes,
kicking off the show. So Pat and everybody, Pat Patterson's in there. Guys, we're kicking off the show, man. We got to get it off on a big note. Let's get them rocking. Come on, let's get them rocking out there, you guys. Big responsibility. Let's go. So you know, they play the Nasty Boys music. They go out and do their stuff. The Mountie goes out and does his stuff. They hear our music. We come out. The place is going crazy. Finally, it starts to come down a little bit. Let them come down. You orchestrate them. Let them. You know, can't keep them up. Can't keep them up. Let them come down, down, down. Everything's off with quite. We all kind of look at each other. Butch goes to one corner. Yo! Luke goes to the other corner. Yay! Hey! I go to the third quarter. Oh! Oh! Now, yo! Yeah! Oh! Yo! Yeah! Oh! We did 5 minutes without touching. The place was just rocking. And Nasty Boys in the Mounties are like, come on, we got to wrestle. I wanted to get the people up and going. We had them up and going, man. That whole place was going. And people say, "Oh, you guys need to go out there and yo and ho." I said, "Well, go out there and try it on your own. See how you do, brother."
oh sure, yeah.
Doesn't go, oh, doesn't work all the time, man.
Right. No, when you've got a crowd reaction like that, it's more valuable than anything, any moves or whatever you're going to do in the ring, right?
Should have the people sit there like this and watch them.
Mm-hmm.
Or have them up there, yeah, Luke went like that, and he licked me.
Exactly. Everybody says it's the
Back then, I don't know how it would work now. I don't know. They got the kid dressed in as an iguana.
yes. The
That's
guy's over.
Different. I don't think Harley Race would enjoy that.
Doesn't seem like a thing that Harley would do.
Smoking a cigarette down to the filter, right?
What the hell is that?
You drinking an iguana?
An iguana.
It's working though. What the hell?
Yeah, no, the dude's getting over. So whatever he's doing, keep doing it.
This stuff would work.
Right.
You never know. That's what I tell folks. It's wrestling is more competitive than sports. It's a television show. It doesn't matter how great of an athlete you are or how good of a talker you are. If you don't have that certain combination of talent and talking and charisma, you're not going to get one of those spots. It's an extremely competitive business. And the guys that are doing it are the best in the world.
And, you know, a thing that I hear all the time in wrestling, especially from the guys who've been working for a long time, one of the things that they'll always tell us is, hey, the stuff that you do in between all the fancy moves is the stuff that's really important. And what Jim was talking about there really illustrated it. The idea that you can go out and get that kind of a crowd reaction without taking a bump or throwing a punch or anything like that. That's what the fans are going to remember, right? They're not going to remember the body slam you hit on them 2 minutes into the match.
But yeah, you can't obviously have a whole show of that. There's a place for it, and that was a perfect spot. Pat Patterson was a master. You got to take your hat off to Pat. You know, you say what you want about him personally. I got along with him after Legend House. I spent some time with him, got to know the man. But you have to give him credit, man. He knew that kind of match would work to get everybody up. Now everybody's up and ready to go. You know, if you had a blood and guts match out there, it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
That first match, you wanted lively and up, and everybody's happy. And we had like a double where we double clothesline them and a double triple. We had all kinds of silly moves we came up with, and the crowd loved it, man. And then they could start the show, but we set the pace.
The perfect show starter, and we'll talk more about SummerSlam here in a minute. But before we do, yeah, so there's a big debut during this time, and it's Scott Hall. He's coming in as Razor Ramon, and Scott's success speaks for itself, of course. The Razor Ramon character would go on to be one of the most iconic characters of the era. Jim, would this have been your first time meeting Scott Hall?
No, I crossed paths with him as the cowboy thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a cowboy when I crossed paths with him. I didn't mess with him much then, and mess with him less in the WWF. Yeah,
Did you just get like bad vibes from Scott, or what were your
I
thoughts on
just didn't get along. Just we just didn't get along. He didn't really like me, and I didn't really like him. There's WWE said it or E. One of the recent, the past 10 year WrestleMania, or longer than that, I guess. He's been dead for a while. They
him?
sat next together at an autograph session, and you think both of us had real bad BO. Really. We're both about to fall out of our chairs so we don't get close to each other, but never any open hostility. We just didn't, you know. He was that click thing was a real deal, and I wasn't a click guy. Imagine that.
How could they not have wanted you involved in that?
That's the click, yeah.
I just can't picture you doing the finger kiss thing with
Yeah.
somebody, Jim.
No finger kissing, I would say that too. No finger kissing for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Kiss.
Well, another arrival is actually a return. It's former WWF champion Bob Backlund. He's going to make his return to the company during this time, which is interesting because Backlund is 42 at this time, and the WWF is trying to start up kind of the new generation of talent with the focus on younger guys. Jim, what are your memories of Bob Backlund?
Bob was always kind of a strange guy. Even back in the WWF, when I was Jabroni Jim, he was kind of a little different kind of cat, and especially when he got into the WWF. But I think him and Vince had a special relationship that goes back with the company. Not a relationship, but I mean the company had a relationship with him, and they even with Bruno. I mean, there's heat there, but for some reason they brought Bruno back. I think they were trying to help out Bob. Tell you the truth. Don't
It was
know for sure. Bob might have been a multi-millionaire. I don't know.
not a bad spot for Bob to be in, and he would go on to win the WWF title again, like the next year. So pretty well
Bob was
positioned.
Bob Backlund, man. I mean, holy smokes! When I was in the WWF, yeah, Bob. If he wanted, yeah, he was Bob Backlund. What a great gimmick! And then they put the Howdy Doody thing on him. It worked pretty good, actually. I thought he did a good job with the Howdy Doody.
He had that like "aw shucks" look about him, but the funny thing about Bob is apparently he was a shooter and he could
Oh,
stretch just
Bob
about
could
anybody.
go. Yeah, nobody messed with Bob. Bob could go. Funny, those guys like that, they never have any trouble with anybody.
Yeah, nobody had a ill word for Bob, at least not
Oh, yeah. And plus, he was as most tough guys are, easy to get along with.
Well, Jim, this is also a difficult time for the WWF due to the national exposure of the Ring Boy scandal. As a reminder, in the late 80s and early 90s, several young WWF crew members accused employee Mel Phillips of sexual misconduct and abuse, while Terry Garvin and Pat Patterson, who you mentioned before, faced some separate allegations. Tom Cole became the most prominent accuser, and questions emerged about what WWF management knew, how they handled the concerns, etc. Jim, what do you remember about this backstage
Yeah, that
controversy?
was kind of a dark secret, man. I mean, yeah, because we would go into these towns and Mel Phillips was not a good person. So he would, and of all things, I guess he would suck on the kids' feet.
Ugh.
Whatever, right? But I don't know firsthand anyway. But that was the deal, and a lot of because they had these guys that wanted to be there. You want to be a ring guy? You want to help set up the ring? Yeah, come on by and come by the room tonight. Let's maybe we'll take some pictures. Maybe we'll get you wrestling. You got go on down to your own. Who knows how it works? But obviously there was some bad stuff going on, and the joke amongst the boys is, when Mel flew, he always had to have a window seat.
Why is that?
He liked to look down at 30,000 feet.
That's good stuff. Man, yeah, no, it's as I'm reading about this stuff, because a lot of it is unfamiliar to me. As I read about it, I'm like, oh my gosh," like, as I'm doing the research, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
wow."
yeah. And wrestling for a while had still had that carnival atmosphere. The fans were a mark. They get in the car to the old time. You stupid fuckers! Ha ha ha! It was a whole different mentality. Uh, and it changed, and that was part of the change. But yeah, there was a lot of sexual misconduct with the ring boys because he was I don't know if he ended up getting arrested or did time or whatever. It was kind of an open joke.
Well, Jim, among all this, former WWF wrestler Paul Roma is gonna come forward with this report. Former WWF wrestler Paul Roma was interviewed in John Clark's Wrestling Flyer newsletter.
Well,
Roma
excuse me,
talked.
Marcus, before we start talking about Roma, I just
Sure.
want to tell the folks what's been going on.
Oh.
I'm on a roll going with a real deep thought, and Marcus goes, "Hold it, hold it! I got to charge my gimmick." And I
It's
lost my whole train of thought, Marcus.
ah,
I can't let that slide, kid. I got to give you a shot, brother.
no, I deserve it, brother. I deserve it.
No, I know. I just had to slide it in, man. Just you blew my gimmick in the beginning with a hoe.
You gotta get your shots in
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, somewhere. Yeah. You sure you can't move? All right, let's talk about Roma. Go ahead.
Sorry. Paul Roma was interviewed in John Clark's Wrestling Flyer newsletter. Roma talked openly about sexual harassment in the dressing room, saying Jim Powers had told him sexual advancement was his reason for quitting, and said he and Powers were originally put together to keep Powers' mouth shut. When Clark asked Roma if he was ever approached in a sexual manner, he talked about an incident happening in the home of one of the higher ups and said it only happened once and he turned it down and was never brought up again. Roma claimed he and Hercules would have been the tag team champions had he accepted the offer. Jim, how many times were you approached by one of these officials in a sexual manner?
14 times total.
Wow, incredible. Good memory, dude.
All right. That's what I said. Nobody ever hit on me,
So a little,
I had the whole spice on. What the hell? Nobody went for it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure probably. Well, the thing is, if they got hit on and they didn't accept it, they didn't get canned. Who knows? Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on. I'm sure they probably did. Pat was openly gay, married to another man. He was known that he'd invite people to his house. So first off, you're going to his house.
Yeah.
You know what's going on, brother. It's not like, what's this? I don't know.
I'm probably not inviting you over just to hang
What's
out,
that
I would
thing for? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're going over to his house. So, but yeah, I can see a lot of people feel that if they did favors for Pat, they would got a bigger push.
That's one way to turn the phrase. I don't know if the higher spot in the card is gonna be worth it, brother. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Jim, you
I know
caught
I'm
me.
in the first Royal Rumble. I tell you.
Yeah, oh no, Jim. The truth is revealed.
Oh,
Well, moving on.
nowadays we're doing that,
It does make you wonder. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you were up to in the lead up to SummerSlam. Jim, one of the first things that really stuck out to me here was that as I was doing research for this, from the period of June 1st all the way up to SummerSlam on August 29th, which by the way is 3 months. During that 3 month period, you worked just 15 matches. Now, some fans are going to hear that and say, boy, 15 matches in 3 months, it's a lot of matches. But for perspective, in May alone, you worked 13 matches. So here it's a much lighter schedule over the course of 3 months for you. Jim, do you have any recollections to why you would have worked such a light schedule from June to August 92?
They might have been using me on PR.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I post that my PR schedule from back then. I did a lot of PR back then, but I can't remember having that much time off. That would be a good deal.
Yeah, not bad. I was like, one of your kids must have been born or something. That was all I
That,
could
that
think.
wouldn't made a difference. No, that wouldn't made a difference. And I was just maybe out of rotation. Was I in an angle with anybody?
There was no real angle going on, but I would imagine that's just because they had you doing some other stuff. Because I mean, you were still active.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wonder when I was doing like prime time, and I did a lot of extra stuff that yeah, they used me a lot outside of wrestling.
You were on primetime during this period, so yeah, that's probably it. They were just using you for some other stuff, not to mention probably some promotional stuff
But yeah, they sent me. I went to the UK, Japan, just doing PR stuff for them over the years,
Yep.
and I enjoy talking to people. And I can put a couple words together for a sentence.
You do great here on the show, at least. I know that.
Yeah, oh, I have fun, and so they use me a lot on PR.
Well, Jim, during that time, you're gonna work with Barry Darso, a man that you had come to know well during your time in Mid-South together. He's got a pretty different character at this point. He's not even Smash anymore. At this point, Jim, he's the Repo Man.
People, man.
What'd you think of that gimmick for Barry?
Barry was a great talent. They were just trying to find the right place for him. Repo Man wasn't there, but it kept him busy, kept him in the ring, kept him on a payday. And yeah, I enjoyed working with Barry. I worked with Barry a lot over the years. We knew each other's stuff. Yeah, it was always a pleasure to work with Barry. Actually, back in Mid South, he's the one with a coal miner's glove that ruptured my throat with the blood and everything. So
Yes.
yeah, we go way back, and it was good to see him this weekend with Bill. And funny, the Bill Barry and they've been with Bill Barry's been with his wife for a while. We were all in Hawaii, probably 30 plus years ago with Andre the Giant at the Don Ho show.
Oh.
And we were all sitting there. There's a picture. We all have the same picture, and we all to this weekend we're all sitting there talking about it because Deborah was there, Barry and Bill, myself. We're all talking. Their wives weren't there, but yeah, it was a memory. Don Ho, Tiny Bubbles guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah, Don Ho. Boys,
back in the day, we had the big front table, Andre the Giant. A lot of fun over the years. It's been a great business. That's why I'd say it before. I see these guys on the dark side of the ring. Oh, wrestling, it's so bad.
it doesn't have to be bad.
Yeah, it's what you make of it, man.
That's right.
It could be better, It's not Shangri-La, that's for sure. I told you I did the talk show with a kid. He's like, Vince McMahon, he treated me like a piece of meat. I'm like, well, son, what the hell you think you are? You want a friend? Go buy a puppy. Welcome to the big leagues, kid. They don't care about you.
Man, especially in those days, it was, you don't pay or you don't work, you don't get paid. And, much like a traveling carnival, it was, boy, it was a pirate ship, as they always say.
Yeah, it really was. And that's why it was a snake pit of tough men.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of tough guys. And that's why there wasn't a lot of fights because you're not going to beat up somebody. He's going to get his too,
That's right.
So, and of course, a lot of people carried guns back in the old days. I feel like an old guy. I tell you, back in the day, I got off my horse, got my wrestling bag, my 6-shooter.
Which it is kind of like. It's the Wild West in professional wrestling in those days.
Oh, back then, you beat up Ricky Morton, you son of a bitch. Me and my brother, we're going to get you.
You better have a damn gun.
Yeah, well, always nice to yeah. Good to have back then. Now, I still carry once in a while. That my break-in, man. I had my gun, I got more press for that guy breaking in my house and holding him at gunpoint than I did for winning the Royal Rumble. Holy shit. That guy breaks in my house. Of course, never in my life would I think I'd be holding a big 40 dirty Harry. I wish I'd come up with something better than, don't you move or I will shoot you.
You're like, wait, let me try that again.
Make my day or something, but don't you move or I will shoot you. And I meant to, I would have shot his ass in a minute. But anyway, I got so much publicity. I told you, Knobs called me. He goes, Duggan, How much you pay that guy to break in your house?
Jim, anytime I tell somebody that I work with you and we do a podcast, I always get the same question. They're always like, "Oh, was that whole thing with him and the guy? Was that real?" I'm like, "Yes, it was real."
It was kind of spooky, man. I thought they would live out near in the country. You know, you see all those movies where they break in and tie you up and all that, man.
Hmm.
So I got him. I was at the back door waiting. Nobody came in the back door, thank goodness, because that would have been a horrible deal. But
Oh
it
man,
worked out great. I got all that publicity. Nobody got hurt.
all's
Couldn't
well
write
that
that
ends
stuff.
well.
Yeah, I couldn't write out.
Jim, in July of '92, you're gonna do a short tour of Japan, representing the WWF for Super World of Sports. Your first match over there, six-man tag, with yourself, Jerry Estrada, and Kamala against Shirahara, let me try that again, Genichiro Tenryu, and Ultimo Dragon. Man, some pretty big names over there in Japan, Jim. Any chance that you remember this tour? It was like 3 days. I have a feeling it's,
Yeah, it was a blur.
yep.
Yeah, you don't get over the jet lag. You don't even know what time it is when you're in the ring. You sleep when you can. Yeah, it was in and out. I went back and forth. Japan was not my favorite spot. A lot of guys love Japan. Wasn't my favorite spot. Actually, I found an old poster recently of me and Antonio Inoki
Oh,
working
no
on
way.
top over in Japan, man. Yeah, and but I just did enjoy. I enjoy the UK and Europe more than Japan. Australia and New Zealand I like, but it's just so hard to get to.
We're just about to talk about SummerSlam. The last question before we get there is that when you return from this tour of Japan, you've got 2 weeks off, but then you're going to end up in the ring with Nails, which of course is Kevin Washels in a prisoner gimmick. He had just arrived in the WWF, but you're defeating him in every match by DQ. Jim, what did you think of having a prisoner gimmick? Did it bring you back to your days as the convict?
No, no, no. And that convict was the time of its own, that's for sure, with the white hood and the ears. I mean, the seeds for the convict. Why'd you put those ears on your mask? There's seeds for the convict, damn it.
I was like, boy, missed opportunity. You've got the convict in the ring with Nails. Come on, you could have done something there.
I didn't know that. Nels is one of those guys you keep your eye on, man. He's kind of wild-eyed. Yeah, he didn't want to relax too much in the ring with Nails. We had okay matches and we got along all right, but yeah, he had a strange look. Everyone, he's the one that grabbed Vince by the throat.
Yep.
So, Nails. He had a reputation up there in Minnesota. Him with that whole crew, Hawk, Barbarian, not Barbarian, Berserker,
Yep.
John Nord, all those guys. Yeah.
Yeah. They all came from like the same high school too. Darso came from there as well.
I think. Yeah,
Yep.
Kurt Hennig, Robbinsdale High or something. Oh,
Yep.
there's a big, huge, toxic waste dump right out.
That's the only reason.
Right outside the city of Robbinsdale.
It's the only reason there could be that many pro wrestlers coming out of there.
Come out of that town. No. But yeah, I got along okay with Nails, and we had good matches. That's all you can ask. I mean, obviously they put me over, but with DQ or no DQ, or however, it wasn't a 1, 2, 3.
Right. Yeah.
I could beat anybody without hurting them. Because I could hit him with a 2x4 and get DQ'd. Wouldn't hurt me. Wouldn't hurt them. That's what I say. I could do the job. Get beat by Flair 1, 2, 3 in the middle. Jump up, grab my 2x4, boom, hit him, chase the referee around, boom, boom. Get ready, timekeeper. Oh, USA, USA. I don't care if I win the match, long as I win the fight, tough guy.
Right. You can still get over without going over, right?
Yeah, right. Brody taught me that, man. Yeah, you can get the hell beat out of you, but as long as you're in the ring at the end. Yeah, so I learned a lot from Bruiser Brody.
Well, let's get to SummerSlam. Jim, this one's looked back on fondly, and there's a great picture of yourself, the Ultimate Warrior, and the British Bulldog over there doing some PR or like a press conference or something for this big event. Jim, do you remember getting over there early so that you could do this kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
I remember going. I did a lot in England. I did a whole lot in England. I spent a lot of time over there with they had a WWF office in England.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I did a lot of local media. I did the TV. They sent me around the country. Yeah, I was based out of there. I want to say I based out of there for a while, and I flew to like Barcelona and then over to Berlin, all through Europe, based out of England. Yeah, it was great, man. It was, because I'd fly in, they'd have a car, pick me up, take me to a fancy hotel, take me out to dinner, do the local TV shows. Of course, it's fun. I do the local TV shows. I'd be in the green room with the people, and I'd be like, nice to meet you. How are you? Nice to meet you. How are you? And they go out there, and here we are with professional wrestling. Hacksaw. Ah! Yeah! They're like, holy shit. Where did he come from?
Not quite what they're used to over there.
Yeah, they woke them up, man. Yeah. And they love that stuff, man, because it was different. Yeah. They don't have another football players, soccer players doing that kind of stuff. Now now we got our football. I used to joke, our football players, I had a good game, he had a good game, and I hope I have a good game next week. If you're going to be a wrestler, you're going to say what you're going to do, who you're going to do it to, and what time the show starts, tough guy.
I mean, the really popular football players treat those press conferences like wrestlers doing a promo. They
got it
go
down.
up,
Yeah.
Jim, I want to point
terminology, putting people over and stuff. Yeah. No, that was a good shot, man.
I want to point out too, you look jacked, dude. Your arms look huge.
Oh, I was probably 280, 285 then. I had a 505 bench. Yeah, I could run with those dogs, no problem.
Boy, big as a house. And speaking of the house, like I mentioned, 79,000 fans pack into Wembley. We talked about it a little bit at the top of the show, but Jim, walking out there, not just, you're walking out there with the Bushwhackers. You and Luke have a lot of history. You guys were down there in Florida together during your early days. And now it's, here you're looking over, there's your buddy Luke from all these years in wrestling, and you're stepping out here in front of 79,000 people. Jim, most of us are never going to experience that feeling. What's it like?
And because Luke and I, we've been in a building with 79 people in it.
Pretty big change.
We've wrestled in some high school gym with 79 people in it, man. Up in the Maritimes, I worked with Luke up in Halifax and Newfoundland, all up Labrador. we took an ocean-going ferry following an ice cutter to get to Labrador.
Oh my goodness!
That was Luke. Yeah, thanks, Luke.
Yeah,
but anyway, Luke and I go way back. I just saw him a couple of weeks ago where I didn't feel too good. I had to cut that show short in St. Augustine. I was still messing with those shingles. That shingles knocked the devil out of me, brother.
Yeah,
both shots. So, folks, get your shingles shots. You get 2 of them. But the doc said without the shots, I would have been in the hospital. And it lasted for like 4 weeks. My leg got weak. I was on a cane for a little bit because I couldn't balance. But now I'm back on the bike. I'm ready to go, brother.
All right. Jim making a comeback.
Stone Cold Steve Austin to a walker match.
I mean, be better than some of the stuff they're putting on TV today. Jim, something else I wanted to ask you about when it comes to this show. It's a bit of controversy there. Ted DiBiase tells a story that his tag team match against the Legion of Doom was not supposed to open the main show, but it did because Hawk was so under the influence that they were afraid that waiting would mean he wouldn't be able to perform. Yeah, apparently after the show, Hawk and John Nord both vanished and ended up not riding the plane back to the WWF. And this whole thing is ultimately going to lead to the end of the first run of the Legion of Doom in the WWF. Jim, do you remember anything about Hawk being in no condition to perform?
Oh, yeah. He was in no shape to wrestle even when they got him out there. They jacked him up. I don't know if they gave him a shot or, a little something more than coffee to get him up and moving. I mean, a little shot of adrenaline or something to get him out there because he was asleep on the bench. backstage. He was out. He'd been out. Him and Nord are running with the Hells Angels of the UK. So they were gone. They were gone. They made it to the show, and like you said, after the show, boom, he disappeared. He wasn't on the bus. He wasn't on the bus from the arena to the hotel. He wasn't Never showed up at the hotel. Never showed up for the bus from the hotel to the airport. Never at the airport. And I think he was gone for, I don't know, over a week. I think he disappeared, and he was out just in England running with the bikers over there in England. Yeah, and Hawk was a strange cat, man. He really was. He lived the gimmick. And of course, both those guys are gone because they were jacked up. Both of them were if you look at them, they weren't actual big guys. They had smaller hands and smaller wrists. Boy, they were jacked up.
Packed a lot of muscle onto some pretty small frames. Yeah.
Relatively, compared to John Studd or guys like that.
Yeah. I mean, was this a common thing back in those days to see like one of the guys completely out of it? I mean, for reference too, he drove a motorcycle to the ring, so it's like this guy is
not that uncommon, brother.
Not that uncommon.
Oh, you'd come into the arena, there'd be guys sleeping on the floor underneath the bench or something, trying to get some sleep. I tell folks, people try to compare us to our generation to a sports team. We were a rock and roll band. Every night you're in a different city, a different country, a lot of women, a lot of drugs, a lot of booze. I miss the old days, but it was a crazy, and that's why when you get a poster now, you go, he's gone, well, he's here. And so many guys are gone because it was wide open, and I've thrown the dice so many times that I can't throw any stones. I did as much drugs as anybody. I just never got addicted. I don't have that addictive personality. I always, old Elvis, TCB, take care of business, party if you want, but take care of business.
Well, Jim, before we wrap this one up, a lot of your fans from the UK wrote in, and I've got a couple of their questions, so we'll hit those and then we'll wrap this one up. TJL66 wants to know, what were your thoughts on the Mountie gimmick? Did you like Jacques' character better as the Mountie or as the fabulous Rougeau?
I liked him as the Rougeau's brothers.
Yeah.
The Mountie gimmick, it seemed a little forced. Where the Rougeau brothers was a natural gimmick. I thought, they could have gone, everybody got an opinion, to do away with that kind of outfit they were wearing and go more, not Demolition Road Warrior, but more leather, modern, I think. But they worked at the Rougeau. They were over there, and they're still over. I did a show for Jacques not too long ago up there in Quebec. And they're over strong to this day up there. And Raymond, he had his own plane, he'd go out hunt grizzly bears up in the northern provinces. He'd fly his plane up. I mean, they're quite a family. But I enjoyed working. I worked with Jacques a lot over the years.
They were great heels too, and he was good as the Mountie. But yeah, I think I like the Rougeau brothers better. They were a fun package.
Yeah, and of course back then you had set tag teams. You don't have that now. Road Warriors, Nasty Boys, Rougeau brothers, British Bulldogs. No, I don't think they have any tag teams nowadays.
No, very few. And if they are, they're kind of like mismatched. Back in the day, they kind of used to match.
Which I just thought of. I heard my buddy Haku was back on TV.
Oh, was he?
They brought him back. At least for the show, man. So big thumbs up to him, man. A good friend and the real deal. Yeah, I just wanted to throw that in.
Boy, maybe he's about to make his way to the Hall of Fame, which is overdue for Haku.
Way overdue. Yeah, they got something with that whole heritage thing of the Samoan Tonganese people.
The bloodline.
Yeah.
Storyline, yeah. Sierra and Co. wants to know, did you guys know that you were going to be on the pre-show, or was it decided post-show and pre-video release? So did you know that it was going to be a dark match?
Not up until the day of the show when we got there.
Ah, okay.
We didn't know the order of the matches till we got there.
Okay.
But it was a little disappointing not to be on the show, but it was to be on the actual show. But it was exciting to be part of the bigger show. So I wasn't unhappy. I was excited to be there
And to be the first act that they get to see, boy, what a great spot that is.
and catch it too. It wasn't like nothing worse to go out there and help. Which I told you it happened at the. I'll tell you quickly. At the years ago, WWE won the Video of the Year award with VHS tapes. So they sent me to Las Vegas, red carpet, all movie stars, spotlights and stuff. I get out of my limo. I got a tuxedo T-shirt and my 2x4 with a bow tie. We're sitting there, and they finally say, and the winner is the best sports video. It's like Michael Jordan's best dunks and all this shit. And WWF greatest hits, and accepting is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I sit up, all these movie stars all around me. I go, oh! It was dead quiet, man. I mean, it was so quiet. You could hear glasses clinking. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh no.
So I go up on stage, I gotta ride this horse. It got me here. Come on, folks, let's do it one time together.
Nobody did it?
Nothing. Oh,
Ugh.
I got the award. I said, thank you very much. Stage left.
Ooh, yeah, that's got to be a
little crowd. But yeah, that England crowd. I mean, halfway through the show, they were still hoeing and yoing. I mean, other guys are out there chopping meat, and they're going, yo, ho, yeah.
That's a good sign. You did your job.
And then after the show, that's always, when people are leaving, you hear, ho, it's always, I'm always in the background.
Last one, it's Ali Tavner who asks, hi, Jim. I was there, age 13 with my dad. What would you guys be doing backstage while waiting for your matches, as it was a 3-hour event? And what did you do after your match was finished, as yours was the first one up?
Yeah. Well, back then was before the card ban. Everybody used to play cards. A lot of guys played cribbage. Andre, Arnie Skolin, the older guys, Gorilla Monsoon played cribbage. The younger, we played gin, played a lot of gin. And Sergeant Slaughter would make these elaborate gin brackets where you'd win and you have losers brackets. Because like you said, you're there all day. Because if the show started at 7, we had to be there probably at 11.
Oof.
So there, all because you got to beat the crowd, you got to get in, you got to get set, and they have catering, and they have couches, they have everything for you. But you're there a long time, and we used to play a lot of cards, and then after your match, take your shower. You got to wait for the bus back then to all leave together. So we all hung around to the end, But they ended up banning the cards.
Oh man, why would they do that to you guys?
Well, because you'd be back there playing cards, you'd be like, dun, 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 dun. Is that my music? That's my music. Oh shit! Where's my 2x4?
So I guess that's a good enough reason to ban the cards.
And I told you one time I got done playing. I put my my cards in my knee pad. I went and had lunch and had fun and everything. Went out. Have your match. Duggan, you're up. I went out having a match with a guy. Bing, bang, boom. I pick him up, slam him, hit the ropes, drop the big knee. It's like a magic trick. Cards flying everywhere.
Anybody give you shit about it when you got
cards after that? I don't know.
Did they give you shit about it when you came through the curtain?
Oh yeah, shit, yeah. Big Strongbow was waiting for me. Dutch, where those cards come from? Where the hell a pack of cards? I said, somebody threw them in the ring, Chief. That glad.
I don't know, Chief.
Yeah. One of them little bastards, I'll tell you.
Those damn fans. Jim, this was an absolute blast. How cool it was very cool to look back to SummerSlam 1992. What an epic event and to get your perspective on it. Again, folks, we talked about Hacksaw Jim Duggan's shop. That QR code is above Jim's head. Above my head, you've got the QR code for Cameo. So if you can't get out to see Jim, get up there, get a cameo from Jim. Look at those action figures. I'm going to zoom in on one more time. There they are. You can pick up your Funko Pop, pick up your Ultimate Edition. If you can't, though, go see Jim live and get him to sign those things, for crying out loud. What a cool deal and a great centerpiece for your collection. Jim, my friend, always a pleasure to pick your brain.
Well, it's good to talk to you, Marcus. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you doing so well. See you in the WWE shows once in a while. OVW, man. Well, so I'm glad things are going good for you. And, of course, say hello to my lovely little Piper for me.
Yes, sir, I sure will. And we'll see you guys next time right
Here we go, baby!
on the Hacksaw Hour.
Oh!
See you guys.